I just accidentally knocked over a passenger spoon. She threw scalding hot coffee right on my arm. I was shaking with rage but didn't dare say a word, because she was Thailand's high and mighty royal consort, and she had chartered this entire plane for herself. The more I thought about it, the more humiliated I felt. For revenge, I took off my high heel, stirred that coffee with my shoe heel, then served it back to her. But she still wouldn't let it go. She demanded I take off my sapphire ring, facing her dominance. I could only obey. I never expected. She just tossed the ring on the floor, then crushed it under her foot. She coldly said she was hungry, told me to prepare lunch, said she'd return it after eating. I brought her the lunch, but she deliberately complained, said she didn't want it. She wanted my crew meal instead. I knew she was allergic to seafood, so I picked out all the seafood, only heated up the noodles and served them. Never expected. After just a few bites, she started coughing violently. I suggested she go wash up. When she came back, red rashes covered her entire face. At first, I didn't realize how serious this was until the next day on the return flight. The TV broadcast the news. The consort had unexpectedly passed away last night. Since she was royalty, her body had to be transported back home, and the person transporting her body was me. I thought I just had to complete the task, get some sleep, and it would be over, but I never imagined. Mid-flight, the plane hit strong turbulence. The consort's body suddenly moved. I was too scared to breathe. Even worse, she fell straight from her seat, falling toward me. I frantically unbuckled my seatbelt, hid in the corner. And minutes later, I finally forced myself to approach. Made myself drag her back to the seat, even tied her down with rope, terrified she'd fall again. I thought the nightmare was over, but I was wrong. The plane shook again. I suddenly woke up. It was just a dream, but I was too scared to sleep anymore. Just as I got up for water, I noticed in the cabin, a figure appeared. I stepped closer. The consort tied to the seat was gone. The next second, vomiting sounds came from the bathroom. I pushed open the door. Nobody was inside. While I was confused, the lights suddenly went out. The door locked from outside. Fear made me pound on the door desperately, but the door wouldn't open. Suddenly, a dark shadow appeared behind me. I screamed and beat on the door with all my strength. Barely managed to escape, but right after I got out, a service cart came crashing at me. The shadow appeared again in the corridor. Terrified, I grabbed a fire axe, shouted for the captain to open the door, but he thought I was crazy, refused to help me. In desperation, I smashed at the glass. The captain had no choice. He finally opened the cockpit door, tied me to a seat. Right across from me was the consort's body. At that moment, I completely broke down. Could only beg her to spare my life, but she suddenly started coughing violently. My hands were tied tight. I couldn't move at all. When the plane landed, the staff came in. They only found me with hands pressed together, kneeling at the consort's feet, mysteriously dead.